Xiaoyan truly was extraordinary, just a single sentence from him was enough to dispel the negative emotions within the soul cluster. Continuing from earlier, Xiaoyan frowned as he examined the glowing mass. What is this? Yao Lao's voice rang out behind him. Xiaoyan turned around and saw Yao Lao descending from the sky. The old ghost Gu Yu had already been swiftly taken care of by Ziyan, allowing Yao Lao to come over. So many soul origins. This must have been condensed from at least millions of souls. Yao Lao's expression grew somewhat complicated. This soul cluster should be the accumulation the Hall of Souls has gathered over the years. That deputy hall master was too busy fleeing for his life. He didn't even have time to take the most important thing with him. Hearing this, Xiaoyan's brows furrowed. The Hall of Souls methods are truly ruthless. For the sake of this bit of soul origin, they directly sacrificed millions of lives. And this is only the human hall. Who knows how many branch halls across the central plains are hiding similar abominations? The Hall of Souls is indeed a calamity of the continent. Just what are they planning to do with such vast amounts of soul origin? Yao Lao slowly explained. Absorbing soul origin can greatly enhance one's soul strength. If one has enough soul origin and the right opportunities, it may even be possible to reach the legendary Emperor Soul Realm. Hearing that Xiaoyan was shocked. Then he asked, "You mean someone within the Han clan is trying to raise their soul power to the Emperor Soul Realm, which is why they are madly collecting souls to extract their origins? Perhaps, I cannot say for certain. The Hall of Souls once tried to force me into submission. They seemed to need my alchemy skills for something, but I refused, so I never learned their exact purpose. However, in my estimation, it is definitely related to soul origin." Yao Lao stroked his beard, frowning. Xiaoyan also furrowed his brows tightly. A series of signs indicated that the Han clan was plotting something in the shadows, and the collection of souls to extract their origin was merely a single step in their plan. What exactly are these people trying to accomplish? Xiaoyan murmured, shaking his head in confusion. After a sigh, he asked, "What should we do with this thing? This was condensed through slaughter. It shouldn't exist. But since it already does, it should not be wasted. Take it. Your current soul realm is in the late heavenly stage, still some distance from reaching complete great perfection. If you can refine and absorb this, you should be able to reach great perfection. That will be extremely beneficial when you compete for the purifying demonic lotus flame soon." Yao Lao finally spoke after a brief hesitation. Hearing this, Xiaoyan froze for a moment. After a short silence, he no longer hesitated. His gaze turned to the soul cluster. With a wave of his hand, he severed the black chains, gently brushing the surface of the glowing mass as he whispered, "I will help you all take revenge." This quiet sentence caused the soul cluster to emit a faint light. It was as if countless bits of information were silently spreading inside it. Xiaoyan calmly accepted those echoes. Within the cluster was an immense amount of soul origin, but no consciousness, only resentment and unwillingness left from their final moments. Refining it completely would require significant effort. Absorbing it recklessly might cause mental chaos. However, Xiaoyan's words unintentionally dissolved all the negative emotions hidden within. It was as though this was another form of intelligence within the soul origin. Even in death, they wished to use their last remaining strength to make their killers uneasy. The method of dispelling their hatred seemed simple, but people of the Hall of Souls would never utter such words. Heaven and earth treasures only choose those fated to them. It seems you're quite compatible with this soul origin cluster. Seeing Xiaoyan resolve the resentment with just one sentence, Yao Lao couldn't help but laugh. Xiaoyan stored the soul cluster into his ring before scanning the surroundings. At this point within the human hall, aside from the escaped deputy hall master, everyone else had already been slain. "Let's go." Xiaoyan had no desire to remain in this place filled with corpses. He turned around and shot out of the mountain range. Yao Lao and the others inspected the surroundings once more before quickly following after him. About 10 minutes after Xiaoyan's group left, a dark figure swept over to a nearby mountain peak and descended upon the ruins of the enormous underground hall. Looking at the excavated rubble, his face turned gloomy, rage and regret surging in his eyes. "The soul origin that my human hall spent 100 years painstakingly gathering, stolen clean by that brat. If this matter reaches the clan, even I will definitely be severely punished." The dark figure was none other than the deputy hall master of the Hall of Souls who had fled earlier. The human hall was of utmost importance within the Hall of Souls. It imprisoned countless incomparably powerful souls, and the soul origin extracted from them was even more priceless. Yet now everything had been taken by Xiaoyan, and the imprisoned souls had been freed. Such a loss was one the Hall of Souls could not afford. In 2 months, the purifying demonic lotus flame will descend again. When that time comes, the Hallmaster will certainly make a move. If we obtain the purifying demonic lotus flame, it will be enough to compensate for the destruction of the human hall. The deputy hallmaster's eyes flickered coldly before his figure slowly faded away. Xiaoyan, just you wait. My hall does not forgive grudges. You destroyed my human hall, next time it will be the Tianfu Alliance's turn. The deputy hallmaster's silhouette vanished into the heavens, but his sinister, poisonous voice lingered in the air for a long time. Although the destruction of the human hall was not publicly announced, an event of such magnitude could not be concealed. Within just one short week, the news spread across the Central Plains, like it had sprouted wings, causing a massive uproar. Everyone in the Central Plains knew the strength of the Hall of Souls. This colossal power had always stood at the top. Even the Pill Tower often fell into disadvantage during clashes with them. Thus, although many factions had long been oppressed by the Hall of Souls, none dared to seek revenge, merely swallowing their hatred in silence. Now that they heard this news, countless people felt secretly delighted. As for the Tianfu Alliance, the newly risen superpower, people finally began to regard it seriously. To destroy the human hall, one of the three great halls of the Hall of Souls, was a feat that had not occurred even during the Great War between the Pill Tower and the Hall of Souls. While the entire Central Plains and the Alliance seethed with discussion over the destruction of the human hall, Xiaoyan, after resting for a few days, prepared to refine and absorb the massive soul origin cluster. On a mist-shrouded mountain peak within the Star Realm, Xiaoyan sat cross-legged on a large boulder. Floating before him was the half-zhang-wide soul origin cluster. He exhaled lightly, then opened his mouth and released a stream of grey-brown flame tinged with pale green. At present, the heavenly flames within Xiaoyan's body had completely refined the sea heart flame, but the improvement was far from ideal. His strength had only increased slightly, not even reaching mid-2-star Dao Sheng. As for the flame mantra, although it had advanced, it had merely risen from pseudo-heavenly rank to low-heavenly rank. With no particularly dramatic enhancement, the flame rose beneath the soul origin cluster, instantly surging up to envelop it. As the temperature soared, the interior of the cluster began to boil. Wisps of fine black mist seeped out quickly, dissipating into nothingness. As the black mist faded, the soul origin cluster gradually became purer and more translucent. After half an hour, Xiaoyan finally withdrew the flame. Looking at the crystal-clear cluster floating before him, he breathed out a long sigh of relief. His hand seals shifted from the center of his brow. His soul power erupted outward, condensing into a humanoid form identical to Xiaoyan. The soul avatar sat cross-legged before the soul origin cluster, its mouth opening slightly to generate a powerful suction force.